Okay. Hello, welcome back to the channel. I am the Political Ninja, and today I thought we go over this article called "A Liberal for Trump." I'm voting for Trump because the Democratic Party is no longer liberal. Okay. Now, I know a lot of us, like people who are more right or center, kind of already expressed our views on why we think people under the liberal title uh, go crazy. But I thought it would be interesting to go through this article by Keri Smith from Unsafe Space. They have a YouTube channel. I recommend you guys check it out. I'll link it below, and I'll also link this article below in case you want to check it out. Because I have noticed within the past year that a lot of liberals have become, what's the word? They've kind of been left behind by the Democratic Party, or they think they've been left behind or betrayed. And I thought it'd be interesting to see it from a point of view of someone who feels like the title that represents liberal is being infiltrated. Because I know we're like, oh, you're triggered liberal or something. But honestly, I think we need to give these disgruntled liberals like a listen so we can better understand where they came from and how they come to realize that it's their ideology is being infiltrated. Hello, my name is Keri. I'm a liberal who is voting for Donald Trump. Yeah, we got pandemics, protests, fire volcanoes, and now liberals who are voting for Donald Trump. This is the definition of 2020, people. A little background. I used to be a social justice warrior. For 20 years, I was a true believer who preached this evil ideology. She used the word evil. I can't wait to see when she dives down into this further. Fully convinced it was the way to end racism and sexism. It took me 2 decades to realize it is racism, it is sexism. Jeez. I can only imagine that an ideology you believe is good. I can only imagine like the kind of shock when you realize after 2 decades. That must be rough. Like Azuka says, that's rough, buddy. Before the 2016 election, I went down a rabbit hole of videos of Trump supporters being assaulted by people who were supposed to be on my side, who were supposed to be liberals and progressive. I was left in tears, utterly shocked and repulsed. Yes, we keep pointing this out because, again, a lot of people on the left claim that Trump is the violent one. The people on the right are the violent ones. So they feel justified to go out and assault them because they are under the guise of the lie that, in fact, it's the Trump supporters who are the violent ones. Yeah, thanks a lot. Because the legacy media had told me this was happening. As a matter of fact, they had sold me, and I had bought without sufficient evidence the opposite narrative. Well, yeah, I'm glad to see that she was planting some seeds. Let me check it out. Yeah, I'm a bit out of camera. I still cried the night Trump won. Because I still believe things I was told to believe about him without forming my own opinion. Social justice warriors do a lot of that. But it became more important to me to figure why he won. I won because I wanted to prevent it from happening again in 2020. Okay, so, here's something good. She just went on to see why instead of making assumptions. So that's a really good start. So I started leaving my carefully cultivated echo chamber. I started seeking out other points of view and actually listening to why people voted for him instead of projecting and telling them what the media told me were their reasons. I started meeting Trump voters, most of whom did not fit the stereotype I've been told. So the media narrative is that, oh, Trump is racist, so everyone who voted for him is racist, so they voted for racist reasons without actually, I don't know, asking the actual Trump supporters. Journalism in the modern day, everyone. And in the past 4 years, I watched my old ideology, social justice Marxism. Ooh, she added Marxism. Went mainstream in the past few months. In particular, it has become culturally dominated to the point where it is being spoken by all our major corporations, academia, entertainment, by big social. I like how she used the term big social. It's kind of like Big Brother. By the legacy media and by the Democratic Party, my old party. Yeah, she is just laying it out, people. Social justice Marxism teaches us the way to end racism is by becoming racist and sexist. Dramatic chipmunk music. Ba, ba, ba. It teaches us it's impossible to be racist towards one particular race or one particular sex. Gee, I wonder what could possibly go wrong with indoctrinating children to believe this. I love the added sarcasm in this sentence, girl, okay? Because, yeah, they tell you that white people are automatically the oppressors, that men are automatically misogynistic, so it's okay. So under those assumptions, it's okay to treat them like garbage. You're teaching your kids to be garbage to people based on their race and sex. I love how she puts it, okay? I love this article. Social justice Marxists lie. Yes. Welcome to the club. Look at their behavior and see if it matches up. Even with their redefined words, it doesn't. They tell us we must shut up and listen to black voices, listen to women, listen to gay people and trans people. Yeah, they claim it's racist and sexist unless it's towards men or white people. Oh no, but not that black person or that woman or that gay person or that trans person. Or the one, or that one, or that one, or that one, or that one. She is just really going off, man. I love it. What they really mean is that we must speak their ideology and their ideology or else remain quiet. They are the first to use racist and sexist and homophobic slurs against anyone brave enough to stand up to their backwards belief. Yes! Yes, yes, yes. Like, example, in Portland. You know the riots going on and Antifa and Black Lives Matter. Like, they are the ones, you see, they're just a bunch of white people, and when they see black cops, they will be the first to use racial slurs against them and feel justified about it. Yeah, that's a good example. This cancerous ideology is now being forced on us cult-like indoctrination seminars in the workplace. Yes, examples of that. These, like, nuclear scientists were told to do a sort of unwhiteness training to deconstruct their whiteness. Oh yeah. Oh, we're not anti-white. We just hate everything about what you stand for, even though we claim you have no culture. Shut up. I was indoctrinated into college 20 years ago. 20 years. This has been going back 20 years, people. And we're now realizing this. So we don't know if it's too late or not, but it is now being forced on children in public schools in early as kindergarten. Heck, it's even being pushed on babies. Babies, I kid you not, with books like Anti-Racist Baby becoming trendy in this illiberal cultural revolution. Yes, get them young, like they did the Hitler Youth. They had all these programs for kids based on their age. And now they're kind of doing the exact same thing. And the Democrats support all this. They are no longer a party of liberalism, but a party of social justice Marxism and authoritarianism. Yeah, they won't kind of forcing us all to follow the guise of these policies that they claim are anti-racist. Like, come on, people. Well, I am a liberal, and I will not follow these Marxist totalitarians and redefine that word. The way they try to redefine many, they're supporting censorship, big social, or government. There's nothing liberal about supporting violence by speaking lies that conflate violence with speech in order to justify violence as a response to speech. Yes, that is exactly what I said earlier, girl. Thank you, girl. Silence is not violence. Words are not violence. There is nothing liberal about indoctrinating generations of children into racism and sexism and saying it's okay when you call it anti-racism and feminism. Clever, but you're lying. Yes, that's how they get away with it, because if you point out what they are doing and how horrible it is, they will call you racist because they hide behind labels. That's something that the left is really good at. They hiding behind labels that will make everyone sympathetic to them. Like Antifa, they are under the label anti-fascist, even though they act like the most fascist people. I'm not saying words on YouTube. They will act the most fascist, and people will still call them anti-fascist because, well, that's literally their name. So that makes them literally anti-fascist. There's nothing progressive about pushing escalating numbers of children into medically transition only to mean them if they later detransition. Yes. Like in the UK, for example, 35 psychologists actually quit this clinic because they knew what was going on. They knew that they were misdiagnosing kids in order to push trans ideology. Like kids with autism, for example, they can easily manipulate kids who are on the spectrum into believing that instead they are actually trans, which sucks. How about diagnose kids correctly if you are so concerned about them? There's nothing progressive about wishing death on people who disagree with you, about celebrating when a terrorist shoots up a Republican baseball game, and grave dancing when cops, both black and white, are gunned down by Black Lives Matter rally. Yeah, because apparently only some Black Lives Matter to these people. I am a liberal who's voting for Trump because I am deeply worried about the state of our country and about the erosion of cultural values like free speech, equality, non-aggression principle, reason, logic, objectivity, individualism. I am a liberal who's voting for Trump because I oppose racism and sexism. Woohoo! That is a great way of putting it. Okay, this is why I like looking into these people's perspectives. Other people's perspectives who are not entirely right-leaning. They continue. The Democratic Party has been entirely eaten up by cancerous, racist, sexist beliefs, a mind virus that threatens to make monsters of men and to end civilization as we know it. Yes, because that has happened in a lot of civilizations, like Rome. They got cocky. They got a little too, like, free-spirited or whatever, instead of preserving values. And they went kaput. Okay, I am voting for Trump because I'm going to skim through this. Because despite everything I lose and... so far this paragraph, she says she's against people trying... She's against the idea of being hated because of a belief. Because people are so brainwashed, so including... And, of course, mentioning people, the walk away movement. Because, of course, if I read through this entire article, it'll get boring. Even though it's only a 6-minute read. He said that those are rights have a threshold of 0 who will be the first to throw a rock. And there were not many of those. But then there are those with a threshold of 1 who will be emboldened to throw a rock as long as one other person is already doing it. There are also those with a threshold of 2, and so on until you get a full mob riot happening. Yes, they used George Floyd as a way to embolden them to escalate. That's right, escalate these riots, and they feel justified in like hurting other people because someone died, which is kind of disgusting when you think about it. They protest violence by incorporating more violence. They have become the monster that they so claim that they are fighting. I think this theory explains that it's happening in the Democratic Party decay. today. Not only in regards to actual rights, but in regards to the way many are mindlessly parroting racist and sexist social justice beliefs because others are doing it. Yeah, it's become the culturally acceptable thing, which is kind of weird because the alt people that claim they're part of the alt community claim that this is sort of counterculture when really it's accepted by the mainstream and everyone that they would probably oppose if they actually cared about the concept of counterculture. Well, this opposite is true. I believe in a threshold theory of truth. I believe that there are those, and there are relatively few of them who have a threshold of 0, who will be the first to speak truth, even if they are mocked and maligned and threatened and lied about. And those brave people encourage others. They encourage those with the threshold of 1 to start speaking truth because they see at least one other person doing it, no matter the consequences. And those people inspire those with a threshold of 2, and so on until truth prevails. Yes, yes, yes. Hype us up, Queen. I know, yes, Queen is only something annoying girls say, but this is actual yes, Queen stuff. Okay. Martin Luther King famously said, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Light can only do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." Or in the words of, man, I'm gonna mess this up, Alexander Schultz, last name I can't pronounce, a man who brought down a version of ideology once before simply by speaking the truth. To stand out for the truth is nothing. Let your credo be this: let the light come into the world and let it even triumph, but not through me. Whoa, this is powerful, okay? So here's what she is saying. If you start speaking up, you will embolden the people around you to speak up until we are bigger in numbers than these fringe rioting lunatics. Okay? Because if you start speaking up, this is kind of why I started the YouTube channel, because if you start speaking up, if you start saturating the conversation with more and more of opposition against this whole like Black Lives Matter, man, my horn, I just honked my own freaking horn. Like if we saturate the conversation and speak out against this violence that uses the label of Black Lives Matter to justify them, we will win. Okay, people? So you better start speaking up and I know there's going to be a few who will lose their jobs, including me, but of course I can get some people in big trouble if they even try. Because it will be hard short term, but think of how it will impact our future, our kids. Okay, do you want to leave a better future for generations to come so they don't have to live under this ideology? Okay, that is, I don't know how to end other than this is a really great article. Okay, start speaking out. Start speaking out. Get those people with a threshold of 1, of 2, of 3 to start speaking out one by one. And if we do that enough, if we keep doing it, we will win the cultural war. Okay? This is the Political Ninja signing out. Goodbye.